bet you bitches thought we forgot about getting groovy on these Mondays, huh? This is some sexy shit, man. Y'all welcome. Look at this shit, man. Just. There's no reason this shit should be just blasting across airwaves.
There's plenty of reasons why.
This is some real player shit, man.
It is. But as lovely as this sounds, why would you want to play this when you know the album that's hot right now is Moneybagg Yo?
I mean, Moneybagg got his place, but just you're not gonna move. You're not gonna move to this. This is just your hips. It's all in the hips. Come on, little Nicky and them. It's all in the hips. Y'all don't deserve this shit. Cut it off right now.
Stop it.
Go and get you some goddamn Duran Jones and the indication that y'all should, just fucking, branch out a little bit. That's all I'm saying. I just want niggas to groove, man. It's some sexy shit. It's real. It's a vibe. See, now when it's a vibe. That's a vibe.
But
man.
that's not the vibe that they want.
Damn.
What
vibe y'all looking for?
I was just about to ask that question.
What's the vibes that y'all looking for? What does that mean?
I was going to ask that question. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. I mean, we're here. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here. I got it. But wait. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Just a Dope Ass Podcast on this Monday. See, we didn't do this last week. No. We got moments where we're trying to be a more cohesive pod, in the words of Mr. Budden, who we'll discuss later. But we'll discuss it later. We'll get to his shits later. But yes, welcome to Just a Dope Ass Podcast on this wonderful, gloomy California, LA Mondays. Nice and brisk outside. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful start to your week. Thank you for tuning in here and listening to all the wonderful high vibrational shenanigans that go on this show on a 2 time per week basis. Thank you for listening on the Good News Radio app or on YouTube or wherever you are downloading this content. We appreciate you and your support, but that doesn't mean that don't download the Good News Radio app and app first. Go over there. You can engage with us on the Good News Radio app a little bit more, or you can listen to things. Whatever. We say this every week, but just go get the goddamn app.
Pretty much, man.
And I'm gonna say it nicely in my softer voice so you understand. So, welcome. Now we can get back to when we say the vibes.
Get the app with Art LeBeau.
Hey, I don't want to joke on Art LeBeau. We don't know how much longer he's gonna be around.
A legend. And that's it.
Pretty much. He's still selling out. Tiny little white man still selling out them concerts.
Man.
I don't know what I did, how I did it, or if I did it. I didn't do nothing, but whatever. I did. Hey, just so y'all, Keith, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'll fix it later, but I didn't do it. But yeah, I don't want to joke on Art LeBeau. Art LeBeau really is he's 5'5". Mm-hmm. He's a tiny white man
and has lived life.
There's
nobody that could tell me Art LeBeau has
still living.
Yeah,
yearly. He gonna get on that stage somehow, some way, and he gonna do a little something for the people. I appreciate the spirit. I really did. Granted, I've seen him many years ago.
He's probably got stories.
Oh, he's definitely. But the Art LeBeau show and that being consistent on the radio and in person, that's a vibe. So when people today are talking about a vibe, what do you think that they're talking about?
I'm not going to say everybody's not trying to get a vibe, something positive, something that what we it just makes you move, makes you feel good. When you play basically any oldie, them shit is a vibe. Them niggas was, as much as we make jokes about niggas was lying, they had 50 families around the corner. They was really hitting on shit
no lie.
Yeah, they was really hitting on shit. The music just, when old folks talk about, shit just makes you feel good.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like there's a, fuck, man, I feel like you got to put all these goddamn niche terms that we got now.
Gymnastics.
Yeah, but there's just like there's a vibe culture now, which is corny. Like, you know, you listen to, and not knocking anybody's particular music, but you listen to, you know, you listen, like I like Janae Eiko, but you know, you listen to her and she's really providing a particular type of vibe, but you feel like you hear somebody talk about crystals or some shit, and now all of a sudden you've got your third eye and your like 12th apartment house in Taurus, and now you are, you know, incense burner and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like, you know what I feel like it is? I feel like the vibe thing doesn't hit when it comes with inauthenticity, with not being, is that the word? Whatever, not being authentic.
Yeah.
Because if you have like, anything really can hit, like them niggas. Nobody knows them, you know, in general, if they're walking down the street, unless you're a real Durand Jones. But them niggas like what the fuck they making. Like, Leave the Door Open works from all the shit Bruno and them has done, because it's like, nigga, we was feeling this. This shit's a vibe. I don't even know. No, nigga, this is a vibe because these niggas meant that shit. That shit hit.
Right.
So I feel like it's a vibe. Only really works if, like, are you really, really with that shit, or are you with the image of being the vibe person? Because now, as fucked up as it sounds, mental health is an image. Like, it's cool now. It's cool to be, I'm spiritual and I'm a vibe. I'm a whole mood. Are you, my nigga? Like, what the fuck do you mean? What you mean? What you mean?
Is it really a vibe, or are you just easily influenced and you're trying to find your identity?
That too.
So I'm gonna latch on to whatever's popular at the moment.
That.
Oh, okay. I was just asking because it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. Even within the mental health space, there's a lot of that. Because if I get one more person that doesn't really understand gaslighting, I had somebody try and use that on me. It's frustrating.
And I don't like it because I just like that it exists. It's a real thing.
It's a real
motherfuckers
thing.
be like, you disagreed with me. You gaslit me. No, that was wrong. I'm nobody saying that you're. Nobody's manipulating you all the time. Nobody's saying that your experience isn't like it's Google is fucking free. Like, you can literally Google the term. You can YouTube the term and have professionals that take the time. And I'm not talking about your most famous whatever. Actual motherfuckers. I'm in the field and I have a YouTube page at it because I teach it, because I'm actively practicing, and I'm here. There's 50. I follow these pages. There's at least 5 pages of niggas who actively are in the field and like I have this page to promote my practice, to promote whatever. You can do that, and they'll explain to you what the fuck it is. Imbalance. All of it is imbalance.
People don't want to be educated or learn or do their due diligence. They want whatever reaction they're looking for at that moment, which contributes to the whole vibe situation. This is what I'm looking for right now. So this is what I want. So set the vibes. This is the vibe. It's like, but is that really, like, what vibe are you actually, can you communicate what vibe you're actually trying to look for, or are you going to say some cliche type, I just want to, okay.
Yeah, this is supposed to look like whatever the fuck that, like, that's not even, shut up, like, but, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that people are, like, figuring out, I shouldn't say that. That's not the right way to word it. But I don't like that people are using these things, and once again, like, just continuously fucking it up as somebody working in the space and maneuvering through. It's like you're making this shit really, 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 really fucking difficult, and for the benefit of obviously my people, like Zod, like you really are just, you know, like you're fucking up niggas' singular purpose to help the people because you just are shitting on it. And niggas are using gaslighting as a way to not be accountable. Like, you're wrong. You're not being gaslit. You are wrong. And once again, like some of the shit we've talked about here is like, did you explore the possibility where you're completely out of pocket? Now, if you explore that possibility and you come back and go, you know what, like I've objectively and kind of went like, I looked at this and it was like, I'm wilding. I'm not getting gaslit. I'm wilding. You do that and you go, no, I really like have points here, here, and here. And now it's like, no, they might be trying to gaslight me, or they might be disagreeing with you. Those are two different things.
Right.
Like, I disagree with your point, and then you kind of work the transaction, but then it gets into like, are you and this person having a fucking argument or a debate or whatever the fuck, and y'all are looking for an end goal, or is it like my word versus yours? Because after a while, that just is not, we just don't fuck with each other, and then that's a whole different thing. But that costs us discernment, that's thinking, and not trying to be condescending, guys. We gotta, come on, we gotta.
He's not trying to be condescending. You can kiss my ass.
Motherfuckers.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to be condescending because honestly, people don't know the difference.
No.
There's a lot of people that they don't really understand what the difference is between condescending and clarity or context or creating understanding. Like I can ask you, all right, you said something, explain how I did this, or explain what you're trying to tell me, or explain what you're accusing me of, or whatever the case is, but explain your stance. Make that clear to me. Oh, no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm creating clarity. I don't understand what you're trying to tell me, so explain to me. Like, this is a conversation, but they'll get combative and see it as gaslighting, or they're ducking the accountability, or whatever the case is, simply because I want to be heard, or I really just want to get my shit off. I don't want a response. I don't really want to engage in a conversation. I don't want to engage in a vibe. I just want things to be made the way that I would like them to be.
Which, even with that, sometimes, like, getting your shit off, I feel like there's various ways to do it. Like, sometimes for me, like niggas talk about the gym a lot. That is, the emotions are there. Sometimes you very much so need to let them out. But acknowledging that, okay, man, if I'm fucking like, I just need to yell and just tell you some shit, and you don't really respond or something.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Like, sometimes I would be cool, and this is very sometimes, because don't be meowing in my fucking ear. But if a motherfucker, I would be cool with splitting the middle with people where it was like, I really just need to, like, get this off and say it towards you. I really could give a fuck with it, because I'm like, okay, cool, that's what you need. Like, you need to get it out. Then you come to the other part of where you have the conversation. That to me is a decent, how we talk about meeting people where they're at. Like, that's a decent step. But to be like, and then a motherfucker, like, they responded and gave you, like, an actual, like, reason behind this, and this, and you just back, then now we've gotten to a phase where you don't want to hear, like, y'all not, this is not a conversation. Just say you want to get your shit off and get your shit off for a minute.
You're arguing for the sake of arguing when I'm not trying to argue.
I have feelings, and this is not saying that, this is not even said, because I feel like we both get a lot of, y'all just act like you don't feel. No, everybody has feelings. Everybody is susceptible to feeling away. The idea, which has also been fucking taught here and said here before, is the whole thing of going through these classes and having these types of backgrounds is like, I recognize that that's what it is. Doesn't mean that I don't. It means when I get it, I go, hey, you're full of shit, or you're working from this space. Now maneuver in a way that you need to get this shit off. But, if you're a doctor, motherfucker go like, that nigga sneeze, it doesn't mean the doctor doesn't get sick. It just means he has a very good way of getting rid of that shit way faster than you. While you going, I got a motherfucking cold, bitch, you got influenza. Like, fuck, like, you finna die. Like,
you don't even recognize what you have. That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, shit.
That's not true. Shout out to T-Berry. She said DC has no emotion. You blasphemous lies and untruths.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you a dog ass lie. Just just from, hey, it's handled appropriately like an adult.
Right.
What's going on, guy?
I've definitely learned to not be Katie Kaboom in this bunch, and just like, because that's how I've felt inside for a long time. But no, I think people misconstrue, not to say that that's what T-Berry, I know she joking and she really understands me, but I think a lot of people misconstrue, especially us as people in these positions, our patience and actually trying to walk you through steps.
Playing with that motherfucking shit.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
when it comes to burnout ain't coming from the job. Burnout is coming from my capacity has been reached to try to be patient with you and not put my foots off in your ass. Like, that's where my capacity is, because I'm trying to walk you here and, like, the proverbial lead you to water and not drown you in it. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. And go ahead. Go ahead. I see it. It's right here. I see it ruminating.
Because, like, as we said, we were talking about, it's headed towards the, like, because I thought we were done with the Joe thing, and then more stuff has happened. But I watched the fucking the Maul and Roy response, and it was good, and they had a lot of points. And as much as we've sat up here and, like, praised the maneuvers that Joe has made, and in those spaces, the business spaces, they were, like, good moves. But this is wild. Like, bro moving, it's real nasty behavior. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's looking really fucking nasty. But speaking to like Maul and Rory, just from a space of, you look at Maul and his demeanor has always been, I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm patient, I'm whoop whoop whoop, but I'm peeping too. And like sometimes having an understanding of, and I kind of correlate that to even these positions, like understanding of, oh, I know this person's background, that I might be friend, foe, relationship, parent, whatever.
Right.
And so you're in a space of, especially when you work in it, like those behaviors kind of bleed over. So it's like, okay, I'm patient. Like, you are this type of way. I don't like that, but I'm aware. So let me just try to deal with that. And let me, like, when we're having a conversation or we're like, we discuss it or whatever, you got to explain it, but you got to maybe have the conversation so you don't sound like you're a client, because that's everybody's fucking first out. Like, I'm not one of these motherfuckers you work with. You ain't gonna talk to me like I'm like no motherfucking. All right, cool. All right, I respect that, because you're not a client. And so you kind of.
Yes, you are. You're not my client, but
yeah.
you somebody's client, or you need to be.
Yeah. So like, you say these things and you kind of, all right, I see that you made, and I peep that you made an improvement here. And for me, that might be like, oh, I see that you, like, maybe a month or so ago, you would have whoop, whoop, whoop. But I see that you did this. It's still like, what the fuck, but it's not as what the fuck. And the motherfucker just really like press the line, you got to go. And now it looks like, oh, you blew up. Like, no, you are not paying attention, because I'm in the field of paying attention. You didn't notice that one time I was like, I saw when you did that. But I'm like, all right, all right, cool. You just kind of, and the thing that really is irritating, where a motherfucker goes like, where you might have a conversation and they clocked it. Oh, so you just clocked the shit and just motherfucker, I'm finna turn this bitch up now. Like, you want to turn, everybody like to turn shit. Well, here we go. And let me tell you, the mother, like, I got a nice couple representatives, but it's a nigga in the basement. Now, like, yeah, and I'm not I'm letting all the locks off the door. Like, we getting all this shit the fuck out.
That one family member that got some issues that you keep downstairs or in the back room, I got him upstairs. I'm going to let him out in a minute.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't even know, and now there's a 60-inch stuck in my ceiling. Yep. Shit is like fuck around and fuck around. Like, motherfucker, like, fuck around now. Like,
what is it that you really want to do? But I think that's part of the frustration, not necessarily of the job. I think it's more sort of frustration of having the title of that within dealing with people in our regular lives that know that. Or another trigger point. Since you're supposed to be a therapist, ain't you supposed to know better? Oh, look here.
I do know that.
I'm doing the fact that I'm trying to help explain this to you, and I happen to said, to hell with you. Like, you don't know my natural reaction is, you can kiss my ass, and I'm just going to leave. Like, I'm not about to go back and forth with you. This is not what I'm going to do. This is not what I'm here for. But I'm being patient, and this, that, and the other, and I'm explaining to you what I'm saying. And you like, well, you supposed to be, okay, clearly you ain't that. Okay, now you pushing buttons. You in Dexter's laboratory and you pushing buttons, Dee. I don't like that.
Yeah, that covers like a couple spaces of irritation, because it's like, now once again, kind of paralleling to a Maul thing. Like, now you're talking about me. Now we're flirting with like defamation of my character, which is a trigger. I don't like that shit. And now you taking something I said or something or whatever and like manipulating it. Now it seems like you calling me a liar, or you lying on me, which is another layer to that.
Right.
Now I'm understanding these layers and looking at you. I'm like, I feel like you should understand these layers too, but you're not, or maybe you do. And now if I think you're doing that, that's another layer of you really trying me and fucking with me. And I'm just like, why you do that?
I think more times than not, a lot of people understand. Even going to the Maul and Roy situation with Joe, you know them well enough to have a better understanding. And if you playing stupid on something, that means you're really being a little manipulative.
There's a lot of that, because what blew me, and I haven't brought myself to watch it. I don't think I will be able to watch it. I watched enough to try to gather my opinion on it. I watched his response to it. And then I heard enough talk about where he brought the therapist to the next episode. And I'm like, nigga, that's nasty. Like, on the fucking shit talking about, like, my brothers are hurting. And I'm just like, bro, don't use the terminology. Stop using the verbiage, because that's nasty behavior. And it's just like, I don't know, man. What's beyond narcissism? Like...
I mean, beyond narcissism, you want to get into personality disorders?
We
I mean, which narcissism is a personality disorder, but you can get into other types of personality disorder or the mixing of different personality disorders. It kind of depends on the person and what they got going on and what behaviors. Some shit really is not narcissism. Just like, gaslighting and all these other terminologies, that gets bastardized too. I don't think a lot of people really, really, really understand narcissism. And I'm not going to educate you on what it is because that's not what we do on this podcast, at least not overtly. We covertly help you understand.
Well, now this is not like future is gonna be some content now. You motherfuckers gonna be like you're welcome in advance.
Right.
But
we'll save that more so for the educational pieces as far as content on the page. But for the show, I'm not elaborating. But that's not narcissism. I think Joe has narcissistic traits or qualities or the potential to be that way sometimes. But I think part of him goes in different areas, depending on what he's feeling at that moment and how his struggles with depression are triggered, because he said he's been, his history of being suicidal and being on drugs and all these other things. He's got a lot more going on. So even when he's at his high, something can trigger him to be a real asshole, and he may not even really understand it, to be honest with you.
People were hella fucking dead. I mean, like, granted, the internet gonna do what the internet gonna do, but also I realized, like, at first I was like, I'm pretty good for, like, saying some wild shit or like whatever, but I realized I'm like, oh, that's fucked up, because maybe just I was like, people was like, oh, you pill pop motherfucker, that's why. I was like, I don't do that, that's not cool.
Not like, for somebody like him that is like clinically depressed. I think we all go through some sort of a depression. I think we all have stages in our life where we are struggling with something, and it's the darkest that we've ever been within that confines, and we're trying to find our way out of it, and we're just exceptionally sad, trying to figure out a way to the next perspective. But when you are clinically depressed,
I think people
that's a different level.
I think people don't understand, because I had a moment this year where I was just like in a funk, and I was like, but I was able to. I don't think people understand the solace of being able to. Like, to trace back, okay, this is where it came from. This is why I'm fucked up. Now I can kind of build off of, okay, this, and this to get me out of this rut. But a motherfucker who literally, all respects and purposes, got it all together, and that shit just say, and you gotta fucking just deal, because there's no way to get up out of it except, maybe like if you're super severe, you have to take medication or whatever. But it's just, there's no rhyme or reason, nigga. Like, I get like this because that's how my body's worked. Right. And it's like, that shit ain't no joke, nigga. Like,
and years of drugs for Joe, I'm sure, contributes to that chemical imbalance, which means these can spike at any moment. Now, none of this is to help him save face.
It's to understand you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just to provide some context as to how you better understand somebody's behavior. You don't have to completely dismiss or justify their behavior, but at least you better understand why you may be seeing that behavior. TJ, you have a question, sir?
Here's the thing for you guys, too. Here's another fucking tidbit, whatever you want to put in your goddamn bucket, put in your toolbox, like motherfuckers be saying. Understanding a motherfucker is not absolving them. It's not for them. Same way forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. If I understand the thing is a thing, if I look at this microphone and I keep treating the microphone like it's a motherfucking pistol, I'm going to be really fucking pissed off, because I'm like, God damn, why this motherfucker don't shoot bullets? But if I understand that a microphone is a fucking microphone and it's meant to amplify my voice, then I can treat the microphone exactly the way how it's supposed to be, and I'm not looking at it like a motherfucking 44. So that, when people say understanding this person, understanding Joe, like even taking the aspect that Joe, because Maul hit on that. This is also like, I had a better understanding of Maul, because I've been watching the show, and like Maul has been hit or miss for me, but like putting it all together, like, in the background, there's been mad bullshit going on for years. I might not, even in my spirit, you spiritual motherfuckers. Ugh. Anyways, I'm never gonna get off y'all. But coming in going, I love my friend. I can see him turning into somebody I don't fucking know. But I'm gonna try to, shrug it off because, loyalty and blah blah blah.
Right.
But Joe he mentioned like, Joe was very adamant, and you are a creator, and you can hear it when he talks about the creator shit now. Like, I've been a creator my whole life, but in my, in hip hop, when it was like really just me, like, I just was not appreciated. I did not get my flowers, and for all respect and purposes, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Nigga got busy. Like we did not. I'll take myself because I'm a fan, but I don't think it was appreciated. The only two niggas I knew to appreciate Joe Budden, I feel like to his nth degree, like consistently, word to J and word to E. Like those are the only niggas who consistently was like, I like bar for bar, something Joe Budden put out in 11 track 17. Niggas knew word for word. So I could understand going like, this is my time to be a boss. I've been in these rooms with these fucking executives, with these other rappers who are my peers, but I'm better than, but I'm just not, even though he got a little bit of like Wale in him because like you had a fan base and that type of energy is, you're not understanding your blessing and whatever. But that's beside the point. That can present itself in I'm this extreme, I have a avid fear of losing this. I also have never been the guy. This is one space where all of a sudden I'm the fucking guy. I'm on 3 shows simultaneously and I don't want to lose. I want to finally have something that's my own. This is, everybody respects me now. When I go in rooms, this niggas who did not give me a second look are now like, oh shit, Joe. And now you can kind of swing dick. Like, yeah, I'm the fucking podcast guy. It's a negative space to be in. It's low vibrational, but it's understandable, children. I love you.
I could see him operating from, like you said, low vibrational, from a space of lack. I've been this for so long that now that I'm here, I have to latch on to it because I don't want it to go anywhere. I'm codependent on this thing being as the pinnacle. That way I get to maintain this level of respect that I feel that I've never had before, which can also be, not to say completely part of depression, but that's a little bit of a depressive mindset. Like, I've been so low. Now that I'm high, I want to latch onto this the best that I can because I never want to let go of feeling this high ever again.
I need to be the boss. I need my friends to be like, there has to be some dynamic where everybody looks to me to hold it down so I can be the fucking, yeah, I did this.
Not only that, but that's the only way that I get seen.
Yeah.
I need this for validation purposes because if I don't have this, I fade into obscurity and nobody pays attention to me anymore. That's not necessarily narcissistic. A narcissist is going to make it all about them regardless. I think for Joe, it's more so like fear and apprehension. Like, I have to make this work. I mean, I'm so happy to finally have it that I'm not understanding how I'm squandering it because I'm not realizing how it's changing me. I didn't want to make this about me, but I'm happy that it is, and I'm trying to keep it about me because that's the only way that I finally get the validation and attention that I've been looking for so long.
How do you think you balance between being like especially like us literally in the same space, of being like Aurora and Mall, where it's like, yes, business is a thing, but also friendship is a thing, and how somebody can, I guess, stop from becoming a Joe where it's like, yeah, it was friendship, but business and blah, blah, blah. Like having some, I guess, because everybody always, and I've never been that guy because I've never really been in business, but there's always this justification of, you know, that's business. And it's like, that's an excuse to not be a loyal, just genuine person.
Excuse to be an asshole.
Yeah, like you moving, you know, and fuck it. Yeah, make it also like a bit of a black and white thing. Like, that's the culture that we were taught to justify their fucking just, you know, roach-like behavior. Like, that doesn't have to be how that works. That's the shit niggas have adopted. That's not the right way to go about it.
I'm glad you said that. More specifically, the niggas part. Because that's where I was going to go with it. I think for black people, that's a huge issue. We try to find ways to justify the bullshit because we're without getting too deep, a lot of us within the black American space, we operate from a mindset of survival. Mm-hmm. We don't understand that we're operating from a space of survival, but that's how we self-preservation. Because that's what it's been, not to get too deep, but since slavery times, self-preservation. I have to do what I have to do to save me and my family, to make sure that I don't get killed or they don't get shipped away or whatever the case is. So I stop focusing on what's best for everybody, and I only focus on how I can keep myself safe. Which in today's world becomes a Shark Tank cutthroat situation when business and money is involved, because I'm trying to make sure, same thing with Joe, I have to hold on to this because I've been to the bottom and I never want to go back there. So I'm going to do whatever I can to stay here. And it's like, but you're fucking up the situation that helped you get here.
And it's, I don't know, like, and it is understandable, but it also still is just wild to me because, you know, I've definitely thrown around a lot here is a currency. And currency posted something today, and it was just like some cars and some shit, and he was like, yeah, we stunt like everybody else. It took us a little longer to get here. And to me, that resonates more with, I'm not doing all the cutthroat, whatever shit, and I'm not sacrificing my integrity and shit for a couple dollars. I'm really like, I'll quote unquote sacrifice. And when I say quote, it doesn't mean these people didn't sacrifice, but once again, living in a space of trying to be a just decent mental health individual, I'm not making bags of fucking money right now. Like I live a regular nigga existence. So when so when niggas are saying these things and they're throwing around numbers where it's like, yes, understand your worth, don't take no whatever, don't give away ownership, I'm completely with that. But when niggas are talking about, I don't know, like niggas be still talking about like I'm out here, grinding just in general, and it's like your deals are something like what Joe was talking about. You niggas are pulling in something like $40,000 a month. That's what people are eating for their entire year. So it's like, you are doing, to do all these weird maneuvers that you hear about in business and hear about whatever for $500,000 a month. When it's like, what the fuck are you doing, nigga, at $40,000 a month?
Right.
Is not like, and that's just from one venture. Like the way I live my life regularly, and I'm happy. I eat every day. I be going a little, whatever. I got all my gym memberships, PlayStation Plus still work. But it's like to go from my income to $40,000 a month. There's nothing you could tell me. There's nothing that wouldn't even put us. There's no way you could dent that happiness. Like
I don't need all that.
That's what I'm saying. In my mind, I don't know what I would do with it because I'm not. I think I could maybe like, I could see myself putting another. I could see myself putting another 1,000 on like bullshit, maybe. But I don't. I just would be like
$40,000.
No. I'm talking about like out of that $40,000, I would.
No. I'm saying making $40,000 a month, somebody's yearly salary in a month. I'll be honest with you. I'm be an asshole because I'm buying up all kinds of property. I'm buying all kinds of stock. Now, granted, when I say asshole, I'm not mean stunting. I'm buying up all kinds of stuff that's going to accumulate more money. I don't have to do a shitty deal with somebody else. If I'm getting $40,000 a month, that means I can take 10 a month and play it in the stock market. Fuck you. Not even that. I can piece up. Say if I got 40, you got 40. Mm-hmm. We can make sure we living comfortably. Save a couple months. I save 80. You save 80. That's 160. That's some property. We can buy that property, get that started.
Flat the fuck out too, like
LLCs, all of that. Like everything is taken care of. Extra business ventures are taken care of. Like I'll be an asshole in that regard to where I'm buying more things that solidify. I'm doing this to solidify myself without having to do a shitty deal for other people or shit on other people to get more money from them. I'll use this to invest in myself. I don't need you to give me more.
Yeah, and I know that this gets thrown around a lot, and I understand it. It is true that financial literacy is needed, especially like if you're, you give somebody, whether it's an athlete, a rapper, entertainer, whatever, motherfucker 21 or 18 or whatever and comes in the game, and you just get a buttload of money. Now, like, I get it. I get you want to, stunt. But also, man, I just be like, what you just said, I'm like, I like, there's no way, even if I was to, like, fuck off just month to month of just getting bullshit, I just know I'd have stacks back where I'm like, I should just throw this in something because I've been bullshitting for, like, 6 months. I still have a lot of money. Like, I should just go put this, like, I could fuck up. Like, that'd be blowing me because I'm like, I'll be walking in there and just be like, it's a $40,000 piece. And I know this is my own personal preference showing, so I understand, guys. Like, the PS5 is fucking, at its peak, was like $800. And it plays back. Like, you put in, it's worlds multiple in there. And then, like, I would build an iron paradise in my backyard, in my house that I bought cash. And I would just be like this healthy fucking idiot. And I would just learn, like, in my mind, me with money, I feel like I would turn into like, I feel like I would understand Kanye more because I would just be like, I can learn. I have time to just, I always wondered if I had the time and money.
I do.
I would go like, okay, and I'm not trying to necessarily shit on y'all's like me and somebody's son posts or whatever the fuck. Yes, we're gonna go on vacation, but y'all be going.
I'll shit on it. Fuck him.
y'all be going to like insert the beach that everybody's fucking gone on. And not to say that you don't want to have these ones, but it's like, damn, baby, you don't want to go to this fucking. I saw this weird fucking island on y'all be on Pinterest looking up bullshit. It's someplace, and I've seen this place a number of times, and I've saved it somewhere in some fucking social platform. It's like pink water in a place I can't pronounce. Let's go to Japan and like walk through fucking a cherry blossom fucking like just like let's like fuck the like the shit that really like, oh shit, this is a ancient temple of whatever the fucking. Oh, cool. Like, why? Like, not
some
opposed.
Real Lorecroft type.
Yeah, we could go to the beach, but I don't know that I want that to be the crux of the trip. Like, let's do some shit. Like, I want to leave this motherfucker and be like, damn, I'm more cultured. Like, but that's like when you watch the movies, niggas be like, I'm a cultured man. But that nigga really did use his billions to travel the world, and he was like, I ain't trying to get like stuck in a fucking ancient cavern and like cursed or whatever. But
yeah, I don't want to fucking up end Emotep and be cursed with.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone in, but I'd have been like around. Like, hey, I was with them niggas when they went. I didn't go inside.
I funded the project.
Yeah,
to discover that, but
yeah, but I didn't go in.
For me, not even that. Like, damn the beach. Like, you want to go to said resort, all inclusive, that everybody goes to for clicks and to. I travel, but like.
Y'all be going to America light. I'm not gonna hold you. Like,
pretty much.
Y'all be going to other countries to go to America.
They got beaches in Africa, and like. I'll feel happy going there and helping pay money to build up their areas next to the beach where I can come visit on a regular basis and they fuck with me. Like, people know me. I got me a nice little place there. They protect my spot. I'm getting businesses built there. I'm investing in the people there. I can go walk on the beach all day long and kick it and not have to worry about the all-inclusive because the people are supporting me because I supported the people. And I could probably spend less money doing that. As opposed to, let me go, because I just want margaritas at some resort in Cancun, because, that's
like I don't.
what everybody does.
Yeah, like I'm not opposed to those trips, but after a while, like, if I've gone to insert, I'm not even going to say like Latin country. I'll be going to Mexico. Like, if we're going to go, let's go to fucking, it's a whole southern part of America. Yeah, there's countries down here. Let's go do that. And like, I don't know.
And it's attached to South America. How about let's go here and drive into the next continent and see what that's like. Actually do some things. I don't know. For me getting money is, I know we're kind of going on a tangent here, but me getting money, my personal, I don't care what y'all do with yours. I do care, but I would prefer you do something better. But I'd rather put that money into culture, investing and building up the people that we come from or that we are a part of that have been oppressed for so long. Start at home and do it in other areas.
Yeah, that's what I think about when I like in my fantasies of being like this really rich, well-off, the father fantasies.
Right.
Like when I look at like, I don't think I'd be like Derek Grace necessarily where it's like, name me the blah, blah, blah. But I kind of dig that more than just, like, yeah, I got my kid the world, but I want my kid to be able to be like, yeah, so the third, like in my like fantasy brain, like my kid is like Tony Stark deluxe.
Right.
Like we've gone to whatever, like I'm not going to raise no fucking like fuck shit ass kid that's going in there and, the Pledge of Allegiance just because like I would love my kid to be like 12 and like have gone to this in this country and understand like this is the history of that and okay, cool. Like I couldn't imagine myself being like some of these rich, celebrities and shit, and your kid comes out a fucking dickhead who can't count. Like,
there's a lot of those. That's generational. That's part of the issue why I said earlier, I'm glad that you brought up the niggas component, because we do a lot of that. I worked so hard to get in a position to give my kids everything that I didn't have, but that includes information and education too, not just material bullshit. Like sometimes the Derek Jackson approach is good because I can tell you, although he may not have as much money as say Cardi B, his kids are going to be better off, in my opinion, because they already at their young age understand culture. I understand stock markets. I understand how to manage money. I understand how to be myself and maneuver and take care of myself. Whereas this other kid is getting
multiple calibers.
Right. This other kid over here, they have way more money than me and they're getting the finest of things, but I don't think they're really teaching them as much as I'm learning. So although they have more money than me, at some point in time, they may end up being my boss, or I may finesse them into investing into something because you're not using that money properly. So give it to me and let me do something with it without me having to touch mine. And that's not to compare kids. I don't know how these kids are going to turn out, but from the mindset standpoint, give more than what you got.
Yeah, like,
not materially. God damn it.
Like Damian Wayans, yeah, he's kind of a dick, but that kid's fucking badass. He's 12. Knows all types of sword plays, a fucking walking encyclopedia of 50,000 different things. Does he have personality issues? Of course. But fuck it. Like, yeah.
I think that, so going back to the part where you're saying as far as Rory and Maul and Joe, like, how do you manage that? Or how do you approach your friends that may have these types of struggles, or you see these changes and things of that nature? The perspective that we're talking about, the mindset that we're talking about as far as utilizing the money properly. As a friend, I can see myself being a Maul where it's like, I may not always talk, but I peep everything. Like for you, you said Maul is hit or miss for you. Maul is always hit for me because I understand the perspective he's trying to present. He just may be a little lazy in presenting it sometimes.
Yeah, see, what Maul said, I've never heard Maul say something and I was like, I didn't like it. It was just like, I guess I was caught up in like their dynamics, and I was like, it was sometimes I watch him when he was like talkative, I was like, I fuck with this nigga. But it'd be like some episodes he was just chilling, and I was like, man, he's not really like,
I know you got it in there.
Yeah, I'm like, this nigga, like when he's on, like there's a good dynamic here. Like there's something like, Joe will go on his riffs, and sometimes, and there's a lot of times I'll be like, yo, you gotta shut the fuck up, my nigga. Like, cause when Rory and they all kind of get in a zone, it's lit. When he put it all together, I was like, oh, that makes sense, cause there's something going on here, and I can see it brewing. And they took it. Also, sidebar, this is why I 100% fucked with them, because as wrong as they, we can say that they're getting done, the both of them niggas midway was like, we did this. We watched this happen. We walked in naive. We stayed naive. We purposely died shit. And it wasn't just like, my favorite gripe with y'all is like, it was my fault for choosing a nigga. Honestly, that's true, but sometimes that is something that motherfuckers use as a way to still sidestep it. These niggas full-fledged was like, we should have been on this. We should have been on this. When a motherfucker did this up front, we should have made comments on that. Right. So I was like, niggas who have like the narrative of accountability in a situation where you really could just come in here and go, fuck this nigga, I'm rocking with them. Because go to Joe, them niggas took an hour and owned up to that in an hour, to where Joe's 18 minutes was just like, that's on them. I was like, I can't even fuck with this.
That's what I would want to highlight as far as being a good friend, being supportive, and helping people understand what to do when they reach a certain pinnacle. First, it's been a lot going on in this chat. I appreciate y'all for participating.
Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like I'm neglecting you. D, welcome back, D. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. She said exactly, not just the material, these kids end up being uninformed and entitled because they were just given things. Which is...
Oh, shit. Mystery Money in the chat, fresh out of a senator's hindquarters. Thank you.
Stupid. But as far as the accountability, holding your friends accountable when you start to see those changes as opposed to letting them slide. I'm sure for all of us that have had friends that we've had for 10 years or more within our life, we've seen them change in some capacities. And especially for dudes, I think women may be a little bit better at it than us. But dudes, we kind of overlook some of those changes and just kind of, whatever, that's that nigga. You know how he is. It's just like, no, challenge him. Hey, bro, that's not cool. We're not doing that. Or, hey, man, now that you're in this position, what are you going to do with this? Like, challenge your people to get better. Make them accountable for the shit that you're seeing, or at least help them understand it, as opposed to just like, I see this shit, and I know this nigga get this way, but I'm just going to let it. I'm going to let it slide, and maybe I'll pull him to the side if he get too out of hand. No, the fact that you're recognizing it means he's already too out of hand.
Past episode correlation, I do think this is niggas still having like the and this is not bringing everything down to physicality, but there is an air of like not having the element of like running a fair one. Like, I had the parents who was like, you gonna go back and win that, and it's not to teach aggression, it's to teach consequence for actions, like things. So to see, oh, he get like that, and that the back end of that is you're not challenging him because you don't want it to get to a level, and it's like, no, sometimes that level's needed, and it doesn't always end up in like the way niggas disrespect now. It's like, we've reached the pinnacle, sit down, like you are out of pocket, and getting sit the fuck down is like, that's some of the, like, a good sit down, be like, yeah, you know, nigga, I really was wild. Okay, so let's talk. Like, this is what happens when we don't talk. Now, what the fuck is your problem?
On an accountability part for that person, though, we have to allow ourselves to be sat down.
True.
Because sometimes even like, nigga, man, you've been cool for 15 years and I'm sitting you down and you bucking at me like I love you. Why are you trying to buck at me like I don't know what I'm talking about? If I'm sitting you down, there's got to be a real problem. If you can't trust nobody else, you should trust me because I've been around for this amount of time. Sit down, shut up, and listen. Even if you do, if you want to throw hands, fine. Put the gloves on, we can throw hands. But your ass still going to sit here and listen. You should give me that respect because I've known you long enough.
That speaks to people who have friends in their life for the sake of friendship and checks and balances as opposed to yes men.
How many of us have a lot of yes men in our relationships, and how many of us actually have friends?
I would say it's a pretty significant question because, you know, you got to have people who, and it's not, you know, and not even the verbiage of check, just somebody literally like checks and balances. Like, as much as we are friends, DC will say, even on this motherfucking show, like, nigga, like, I'll go on a fucking rant or vice versa, and a nigga will say some shit like, I didn't even think about it that way. That correlates to other levels of the relationship. It's like, I know you thought about it, whoop, 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 this, and this, but think about it from this perspective, especially because I'm not coming from this to amen you. If you're right, you're right. I'm going to completely support you. But if I see you on even if you're not necessarily wrong in this seat, but I can see this as a trajectory that could go left if we don't kind of, yeah, nigga, I'm going to say that shit. Because it's a fucking selfless act because you're supposed to be a selfless motherfucker in these relationships, all of them. Otherwise, go the fuck home.
But that's not fun. It's more fun to have the people that co-sign our bullshit.
You are liars. It's fun as fuck. Let me tell you, like, it's the funnest shit ever. Like, it's amazing.
It's fun to us to be able, like, I enjoy being able to spark a thought that changes your perspective to help you really understand some shit. I like being able to do that for people. A lot of people don't. They just may say something to either I'm going to grow my bravado, or I just want to be heard, or I'm co-signing the bullshit. I think a lot of people don't really have friends, and they know they don't have friends. You just have people that'll co-sign your bullshit.
Which is trash.
Which is trash.
Paradoxically, like, if you're because I enjoy that. I do sincerely enjoy, and not to on some, like, I'm right. It just is like, damn, I can see, if I have the foresight to see, like, hey, this thought process or the way you're going about it is cool, but if I say something that's like, damn, I never even thought about that way, now you on your whole whatever, I'm just happy for the growth in you. But also, if you're genuinely that person selflessly, we're going spiritual people because, you know, y'all are into that. You know what you're talking about with that goddamn post you posted about whatever the fuck you was posting about.
Oh, my crystals.
It brings people in your life that do the same for you. So if I'm about growth for me, I only got 2 fucking eyes. So it behooves me to have motherfuckers around me that can see things in a way that I cannot. So then if I'm that person in general, law of attraction, fucking pick a book, like about, like, whatever, just law of attraction. We're going to keep it simple. Law of attraction. You bring those motherfuckers to you. So now, like, yeah, nigga, like, I got a good fucking 360 vision around this bitch. I see all this shit.
Right.
Because I trust my squad.
Not even just for seeing it, but sticking with, like, law of attraction and manifestation. Nigga, if I'm around you and you ain't growing, bitch, I'm not growing either. If I want to be better, that means I have to make the things around me better, or I have to uproot myself from the situation. One of the two. If I love you, I would prefer to not have to leave you behind, which means I want to try to help you grow, which means you got to sit down and listen to what I'm saying sometimes, and vice versa. If you're not willing to do that, then I got to chunk the deuce on you, pimp, or at least distance myself in some regard because you're not trying to grow, and I can't sit up here and be roots with you. We both can't be growing in the ground. Like somebody got to sprout up and get up out this bitch. Why can't it be all of us? A tree got many branches.
I mean, yeah, niggas, now, you niggas work with that if we're going to do the whole Gary Vee thing, there's no timeline on it. You grow, and it's like, look, man, like, I'm big on, you know, even when I be getting on, you know, people, I'm not saving anybody, but I will not close the door behind me. So I'll do that. I'll open the door and I'll keep it open. I'm not finna come back out here and get you. Now, if you decide to walk through these bitches slowly, or if you decide to run and catch up, then nigga, yeah, come on, join the party. Glad you came. But, you know, I'll grow this bitch. Now, you can climb the tree if you want, but yeah, I'm just not gonna sit here and like necessarily wait for you. Especially because I feel like in those situations that are not like, oh, you're not gonna help somebody, wait for somebody to go. That's where you can actively see, oh, this motherfucker we trying to get up out the water, and you keep picking up rocks. All right, man. Well, you know, you're going to float to the top one way or another. Now you can drown. Or
well, I mean, I was going to try to not be inflammatory. I'm going to find a decent way to say this, but I don't really want to find a decent way to say this. But a lot of people approach that type of situation the same way they approach white Jesus. He's going to come save me. Yeah, no. As opposed to realizing he's going to give you the opportunity to save yourself.
That's crazy.
I gave you the ability to save yourself, but you want somebody to swoop down and do this for you? No, bring your ass.
So Jesus was a therapist. I'm gonna give you the tools, man. I'm a carpenter. I'm not gonna build this for you. I'm gonna give you all the tools. I'm gonna teach you how to use these motherfuckers. All you got to do is do what the fuck I told you to do. And you said, look at this goddamn it's a whole goddamn block of wood here, man. And I understand. At first, when you met me, man, you came to this block of wood with a motherfucking spoon. Then I gave you a drill and a hammer and a saw. All these fucking it was amazing. And then I had blueprints. It's blueprints on how to fucking make this shit a table and a couple chairs. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful setup. You got all these motherfucking tools. And then you come to me, and then what the fuck did you grab? A butter knife. Bitch, the tool belt. You wearing, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
It gets to the point where I'm not saying Jesus because y'all that listen to the show know why.
I was just using that as an
example. Using it as an example. But the
don't.
Higher powers, the universe provides to the point to where this shit is IKEA furniture. It's so easy to put together. And all you need is this little key. And you in here sitting for 3 hours trying to I don't understand. This shit's so difficult. You need one key, these screws. There's enough of them in here to where you're not going to have any left over. You need this exact amount. This is how you put it together, and you're not paying attention to how to do this right. You're so goddamn helpless. And I've literally laid it out for you, and you so damn helpless. But why? Because you're so used to not listening and having to take accountability and do things for yourself. With your friends, with yourself, with your peers, the whole 9 yards. You want the easy way out all the time to where you don't have to actually pay attention to your own growth or be proactive in it.
I don't know why that killed me. You so damn helpless really fucked me up.
That's how a lot of people act. A lot of people act helpless, and I that's one of my. I can't stand nobody that act helpless. That's partly why we ain't get into it today. But the whole like, pay for this. We going on a. You gonna
see you on Saturday.
We'll talk about it on Saturday.
I'll talk about that shit forever.
Yeah,
niggas ain't been shit forever, so yeah, fuck y'all. Yeah, and it's about for you fuckers. Like you can feel how you feel. I feel like I might explain this again just for people who knew, but I don't give a shit. Anybody jumping on y'all, it's fucking, man. If we don't get to the bottom of the nonsense, the relationships don't work, nigga. Like it is about the unit, motherfucker. Like. So, I don't know, man, if I say something that, you know, I remember my pastor used to say that shit, like, when I was going to the church. Am I standing in the kitchen? And am I in your backyard? Am I in your living room? Yeah, motherfucker, I am. Nah, make me a motherfucking sandwich, bitch, because there. Bitches, yeah. I mean, for you niggas, too, man, it's gender neutral.
It is. Bitch is a gender neutral term.
Yeah, like,
it ain't specific to anybody.
I don't know, man. Cancel your mama. I'll see you on Saturday.
Random question as we leave. Like, if somebody's non-binary and they don't adhere to any gender, like, can we still use bitch?
Are they a furry? They a dog?
I mean, it depends on what they identify as.
Man, look,
but they don't identify as anything.
You unidentified bitch. Unidentified UFB. Unidentified flying bitch.
He's stupid. You going to the DSM? You are unspecified. That's your DSM code right there. You are unspecified. Terrible. But I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your week. We hope you started off lovely with us. Now end it correctly with us again on Saturday, because somebody got to help you motherfuckers through this shit.
Never Not Extras tomorrow. Okay, bye.
Love you, girls.